Hey there. So I have a message to share with you. I can recall years ago, this was about 5, 6 years ago at this point, after I had my twins, I had to go through this emergency surgery, emergency hysterectomy, because I had hemorrhaged 8 liters of blood. Yes, take a moment to take that in. Think about 2 liters of soda times 4. That's how much blood I lost, right? And, but after the surgery, I woke up, I had all of these staples going up and down my stomach, and I could barely even move. I was swollen from head to toe, and I didn't feel good at all, obviously, right? I had just been through the war and back. People were talking about, wow, I can't believe you even survived. I mean, honestly speaking, right? And no true words could be spoken. Now, I'm not here to focus in on the hardship, right? What I am here to focus on is the aftermath, because there became a certain point where I can recall when I was in that hospital bed during that 13 days after I delivered my twins, where I said, you know what? Enough is enough. Enough is enough. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of being in this bed. I'm tired of being in this hospital. I started to feel like I was going crazy. I started to get paranoid and all of these things. Are the nurses trying to drug me? Is the hospital just a system that's set up to keep us sick? Are the things that they're giving me maintaining my illness and my hurt and my wounds and my pain? So I said, you know what? I did something that I'm not suggesting to you, of course. Go by your doctor's orders, all of these things. But I did something. And I said, I'm not going to take this pain medication anymore. It wasn't because I no longer needed it, right? I did. I was still in pain. But I made a conscious decision to say, you know what? No, I'm understanding that this pain medication is not actually taking away my pain, but it is attacking and going towards a part of my brain that says, you know what? You're in pain, but it's okay, right? That's why people get hooked on this medication. Now, of course, this isn't an advertisement or anything like that, because I do not condone nor do I endorse taking any type of medication unless it is prescribed and completely necessary. But the point of this message is that stubbornness. My stubbornness kicked in. And you might have been called stubborn at some point in your life and things like that. Now, I'm here to tell you that that's not necessarily a bad thing. It just depends on how you use it, right? In that situation, when I was in that hospital bed, I used my stubbornness and I channeled my strength through it. And I refused to give into the pain. I refused to give into the notion of having to be hospitalized, and I refused to give into the notion of I'm not going to be able to walk the same again or function the same again. I refuse to allow the fact that I had to have this emergency surgery that basically ripped me down the middle. I refuse to allow that to be the end story of my life. I refuse to allow that to be my defining force, right? And I told myself in that moment, I said, you know what? You're going to heal. I told myself, this pain is not going to conquer you. You are going to conquer it. Right? I stared at that mountain and I spoke to it. I told it, you are nothing but a molehill. Right? And the reason I'm saying this again is because you have that same stubbornness. You still have that same mentality and possibility and potential in your own heart. However, maybe you're channeling it this way when God is giving it to you to channel that way. Right? How are you using it for your growth, for your potential, for your purpose? Now, I know whenever sometimes people say the term purpose, that can be triggering, right? Because I know before I felt any type of direction in my life, anytime I thought of that, I'd be like, well, why did I survive? What is my purpose, right? You watch the movie Soul. What is your purpose? And that's very hard to answer. And sometimes the simple fact is your purpose is just your mere existence. Right? Your purpose is your existence, your healing, your knowledge, your abilities, your talents, your strengths, right? Your triumphs. That is your purpose, to share with the world. Right? So when I talk about that stubbornness of me being in that hospital bed in that moment, making that decision to use that stubbornness to work for me as opposed to work against others, then that was a turning point in my life. Now, was that to put me directly where I wanted to go and end up? No, of course not. I still had a lot of work to do. I still had a lot of healing to do. But what I'm trying to get across to you is the fact that you can use those things that people throw at you to be a detriment, to be your strength. They call you weird. They call you crazy. They call you stubborn. They call you all of these things. Well, we all know sticks and stones may break my bones, but words would never hurt me. But let's take that even further, because we're going to take those words that have been used against us and we're going to channel them to be for our greater good. Because that's where we are right now. And that's where Spirit wants you to keep moving. So instead of going in that negative direction and saying, you know what, I'm going to use this against people, figure out and find out how you can change your direction and your trajectory and start using those things for self. And that's it.